viewers, this is Dipali Pathak here, and today I am going to teach you transportation. This is the chapter of class 10. It's a part of life processes. So today we are going to discuss about the transportation, this is the circulatory system of organism. Students, during metabolism, many useful and harmful products produced in the body. So useful product need to be transferred from one cell to another cell, and harmful substances are required to be eliminated from the body. For that, an efficient mechanism is required in the body. And to perform all these activities, transport system is there in the body, which is also called a circulatory system. On the basis of the organization, the transport system varies from primitive to higher organism. Can be seen in some lower invertebrates such as this sponges, which belong to the porifera group, and coelentrates. Rather than the arthropoda, molluscans also show this kind of circulatory system, in which the body cavity is filled with the fluid through which the exchange of material takes place. You can see in the diagram, in cycon or spongilla, there is only one opening in the body through which water enter from the surrounding and circulate, then come out. During this course, the transportation of material or exchange of material takes place. Rather than the example of arthropoda and in cockroaches, there is an open cavity in the body which is connected with the spiracles in air tube, through which air enter into the body. This cavity is filled with the body fluid, which is transparent, colorless, no respiratory pigment is there, and this cavity is called as the hemocoel. It resembles with the coelom, that is why it is called as hemocoel. When oxygen enters through the spiracles into the body cavity, the gaseous exchange takes place and produced harmful waste released out from this fluid through the trachea. In this way, the body cavity has to exchange the material or circulate that throughout the body to all the cell or tissues. But there is no pumping organ, there is no blood capillary or vessel is there. That is why this kind of transport system is called as the open circulatory system. Whereas some higher organism has well developed circulatory system, which consists of a pumping organ, which is called as heart, then fluid which transfer the useful and harmful material to their target organ, is the blood, which consists of respiratory pigment also, and blood vessels. There are different type of blood vessels. So all these things, when come together and perform an activity, it is called a circulatory system. Here the body fluid, which is blood, is restricted to flow through the blood vessels only. That is why this is called as the closed circulatory system. Best example of it, that is the human being, in which the closed type of circulatory system is there, in which the blood flows through blood capillaries and transfer the useful and harmful material to the target organ. Means there are two type of basic circulatory system are there. One is open and another one is closed type of circulatory system. The open circulatory system is there where the open body cavity is there, hemocoel is there, and through the body wall or cell wall and the fluid help in the exchange of material. Here body surface, hemocoel or fluid, they help in the transportation of material, whereas the enclosed circulatory system, blood vessels are there and blood circulatory fluid is there and one pumping organ which is called as heart is there. So this is the detail about the open and closed circulatory system. There are some advantages and disadvantages also of the open and closed circulatory system. Student, when blood flow through a closed open circulatory system, the blood flow at very low velocity and at low pressure due to the absence of smooth muscles. Direct contact of the surfaces is there with the atmosphere and the material circulatory system, which is formed from the group Annelida. The blood flows around the blood through the specific blood vessels, which are called as the blood capillaries. Blood flow at very high pressure due to the presence of smooth circular muscles in the wall of the arteries or arterioles. There is no direct contact between the tissue and blood. The best example of this closed circulatory system, which bears simplest closed system, that is earthworm, which belong to the Annelida group. But it is complex in higher organisms such as the human being. The three components of this circulatory system in human being is very important, the pumping organ, that is heart, then blood capillaries and blood. These three important components are there which form the human circulatory system. So these we have to discuss in detail. The first component, that is the heart. Heart, it's the main pumping organ. Its function is to pump the blood into the arterioles and to circulate into the body. So heart only pump the blood. It does not circulate throughout the body. The heart of human being is a muscular conical shaped organ. You can see here its shape is conical and it is muscular in nature. It is made up of special kind of muscles which are called as cardiac muscles, which are involuntary muscles in nature, and they continuously contract and expand for the circulation. So upper part of the heart is broader than the lower one. It's conical shaped and internally it is divided into 4 chambers. Heart is enclosed or covered by a specific covering around it which protect it from infections, from jerk and shocks, that is called as pericardium. Peri means which is outer, which surround it, and cardiac means the heart. So outer covering of the heart is called as pericardium. There is a fluid filled in between the pericardium and heart. It is called as the pericardial fluid. Student, hearts are of 2 types. They are the neurogenic and myogenic. Neurogenic heart has the nervous coordination, its nervous control. Through nervous control it works, and the heartbeat generated by the cranial nerves. But in myogenic heart, muscles are there in which the contraction and expansion, the pulse start by its own and spread throughout the whole heart. Situated in between the both lungs, both side of it, lungs are there. It is situated in the chest cavity and protected by the rib cage. As I told you, it's a pumping organ. So it has the capacity to contract and expand rhythmically. It repeats its movement to pump the blood. Externally, it has the coronary sulcus and it is uniformly surrounded by covering only. Its partition cannot be seen by externally, but internally septum are there. Muscles wall is there, thick muscles wall is there, which divide all the four chambers from each other, and in this way four chambers internally. Externally, heart is a pinkish organ which is muscular in nature, and the size of this is 12 centimeter in length. Its width is 9 centimeter and the diameter of it is 6 centimeter. The weight of heart is near about 300 to 340 in males and it is 250 in females. So weight of the heart varies in male and female. It is near about 300 gram in males and 250 grams in females. So this is the measurement of heart. It is near about a fist of any organism, slightly tilted toward the left side in the chest cavity. Now let's discuss its internal structure. The upper two chambers, as I told you, four chambers or four parts are there in the heart. Upper two chambers are called as auricles, or it is called as atrium also. So these are the right and left respectively. The right and left atrium are there or auricles are there, which are separated by a muscular wall which is called as septum, interauricular septum. Then lower two chambers are known as right and left ventricle respectively. They are also separated by each other with the help of a muscular wall. It is also known as septum. These are the intraventricular septum. These are the intraventricular septum. Now, between the auricle and ventricle of each side, there is a partition which are prevented by the walls. These are the walls in between the auricle and ventricle. The wall between the right auricle and right ventricle is tricuspid. Means the wall between these auricle and ventricle have this type of three walls which close the chambers or separate the blood of these both the chamber. So in this way it consists of three walls. That is why it is called as tricuspid valve. The valve between the left auricle and left ventricle is called as bicuspid valve because it has only two walls like this. So it has only two walls which lock and prevent the mixing of blood and backflow of the contents of the ventricle. So it is the bicuspid valve. Bi means two because it has two walls only. It is also called as a mitral valve. The mitral valve is bicuspid valve which is situated in the left part of the heart. Now both the auricles of heart receive blood, but they both are different in nature. Right part of the heart receive impure blood from the body, and this is the impure deoxygenated blood which is bluish in color. But the left part of the heart receives pure oxygenated blood which comes from the lungs, and then it circulated through the body parts. Some semilunar walls are present in big capillaries such as the aorta or pulmonary artery. They also have the semilunar wall which prevent the backflow of the blood into the heart again. Of the heart, it is pinkish muscular organ, conical shape, which is situated in chest cavity, and it is of 12 centimeter in length, and the weight of it, that is the 300 in male, 300 gram in male, and 250 in female. Upper two chambers of the heart are called as auricle, right and left auricle respectively. Lower chambers are called as right and left ventricles. The blood capillary which bring deoxygenated impure blood and pour that into the right auricle, that is the superior vena cava, and posterior vena cava, which come from the back side of the heart. Blood capillary which takes impure deoxygenated blood towards the lungs for purification, that is the pulmonary artery. And the blood capillaries which receive pure oxygenated blood from the left ventricle of the heart and circulate it throughout the body parts, that is the aorta. So this is the internal structure of the heart. Another component of the circulatory system, that is the blood capillaries. So there are two type of blood capillaries. These are the arteries and veins. Arteries are the blood capillaries which are thick-walled and flexible. They are elastic in nature and they receive pure oxygenated blood from the heart. They receive pure blood from the heart and take it to the body parts. But veins, they are thin-walled in nature and they receive deoxygenated blood. They receive blood from the body parts and pour that into the heart. In this way, these two blood capillaries are there in which different type of blood is there. Arteries have oxygenated blood, whereas the veins have deoxygenated blood. Veins have walls in them. Suppose this is the structure of vein. They have walls in them to prevent the backflow. As the blood flow upward, the walls close and prevent the backflow of it. So this kind of walls are absent in the arteries. These are the basic differences between the arteries and veins. Another component of the circulatory system, that is the blood. So blood is a fluid which is known as connective tissue because it maintains the connectivity with each cell and tissue of the body. In this way, the vascular tissues mainly consist of blood and its part is lymph also. So it can be differentiated into two main components, that is the blood and lymph. Blood is a fluid tissue which consists of a fluid part which is called as the plasma and the blood cells. Plasma which make the 55% of the blood and it is the yellowish straw color fluid. It helps in the dissolving materials such as the hormones, enzymes and some nitrogenous waste also. It is alkaline in nature. Its pH is 7 to 8. It maintains the blood pH. Then blood corpuscles or blood cells, they are of three types. Erythrocytes, which are known as RBC. These are red in color. WBC, these are called as leukocytes. And platelets, they are called as thrombocytes. In this way, the blood consists of plasma and blood cells. Blood cells are RBC, WBC and platelets, means red blood cells, white blood cells and thrombocytes. Red blood cells are red in color and they have the respiratory pigment hemoglobin. This is the structure of hemoglobin, which has the metallic base as iron. Non-proteinous part is heme and the globin. Globin is a proteinous part of it. These are the blood cells which has respiratory pigment hemoglobin. Because of it is red in color. That is why it is called as erythrocyte, because erythrin provide red color. These are discoidal, concave shaped and enucleated. These are the enucleated. Means nucleus is absent in them. Then combine with oxygen and transport it. Rather than the WBC can be differentiated into two type of blood cells. These are the agranulocytes and granulocytes. WBCs are bigger in size and they are less in number in comparison to RBCs. These are bigger and nucleated and phagocytic. Phagocytic means they engulf the germs or foreign particles and kill them and prevent us from the infections. They are nucleated. As I told you, they are of two types, agranulocyte and granulocytes. In agranulocytes, some granules or particles are there, and in agranulocytes, granules are absent, and they are of two types. They are lymphocytes and monocytes. They are colorless or transparent in nature. Granulocytes have some specific particles or granules are there, and they are of three types: neutrophilus, eosinophilus and basophilus. In this way, the vascular tissue is blood and lymph, which main part is blood, and this transport the useful and waste material both in our body. Then lymph, when some transparent blood cells drain or diffused from the blood capillaries, they form the lymph, and they also help in the capturing of foreign object or pathogen and prevent us from the infection. The part or the form of this lymph are plasma and leukocyte. Plasma is the fluid part and leukocytes are the white blood cells. In this way, the circulatory system completes. The function of blood is to transport the useful material, to transport the waste and nitrogenous material, help in the gaseous exchange, rather than it maintain the body temperature and carry some important soluble material in the body such as the hormones and enzymes. So student, we have studied the structure of heart and the transportation system. So we have studied about the circulatory system. Then in next video we will discuss about the physiology of it.